So, welcome everyone to another Buzz Slayers interview. We are back again, once again with Katy Tunbridge, and there's been a lot happening for you. And I would like to dive right into "Let Go Away" because that's like the newest track. I heard that you're submitting a few tracks for Grammy nominations and things like that. So I want to dive into that too. That's very exciting stuff. And I also heard the other one, "Carried Away," which was a really nice song, completely different, totally different. Yeah. But "Let Go Away" is obviously, as you know, it's more my style because it's just, I loved "Carried Away." It was beautiful, but "Carried Away" is like a love song. You know what I mean? It's like a love song where "Let Go Away" that's like a real banger. It's like heavy, like not heavy, but it's kind of heavy. It's like alternative pop rock, you know what I mean? Which is, on your last album, there was some tracks like that. So it's not like a new thing, but I definitely dig that one. Is that, so what, let's "Let Go Away." What's that track about?
Yeah, so "Carried Away" is like a wedding song waiting to happen. That's what I kind of like see. That's like
I enjoyed it. It was a nice song. It was like smooth and like very, very crisp. And you can definitely hear a love song, tell that it was a love song. I want to be carried away by your love. Like it's a very nice, track. But what's "Let Go Away" about? What's that? Because it felt kind of personal too.
Yeah, definitely. So "Let Go Away" kind of came about. Well, you go through life and you kind of like get to a point where certain things are just like enough is enough, right? It's just like stop, So "Let Go Away" was actually kind of born in Nashville last year in May. So I was performing in Nashville, and it was kind of like a spontaneous write almost. So I wrote it with my dear friend Jessica Searles, and I was staying at her house, and it was the day before I was flying back to LA, and it was the conference and everything was happening, my performances, and it was just a time where we're just there at the house together, just by ourselves.
Right.
And she's like, "Hey, do you want to write a song?" And I was like, "Yes." Of course. And then so I had been sitting on this song for a couple of years actually, and
Wow.
I kind of had the idea. So I'd had it written in the guitar riff, and it's actually, I'm working on a chill pop rock version of this song as well. So this one's, I'm kind of like in the studio this month, and we'll finish that one by the end of the month. So it's just me on guitars, and that's how the song started. So when we did this like rock version, I was just like, yes, this is the way it is. It's like, Pink meets Paramore.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. And so like when you did your producer that you worked with kind of morph this into a heavier rock song, or was that?
So I kind of like took it to him, and I was kind of like, a reference track I gave him was Pink, and I was like, it needs to be rock, I want it to be like rock, like pop rock. And then so we laid down the guitars acoustically, and so it's just very like chill pop rock. And then so I'm like, yeah, cool. And then we both loved it. And then it was kind of like, and then Nick was like, hey, I just just was like messing around, and it was the day before I was coming into the studio to track vocals. And then so he's like, I don't want to send it to you, like, oh, let's wait until you get into the studio. Right. And I was like, oh man.
Yeah. And then you have to wait in anticipation to see what the heck he's even talking about.
Yeah. And it was kind of everything that I wanted, right from the beginning.
He knew.
So was that, so like he just got it. So he's an amazing producer. Nick Warner is awesome. But yeah, so when Jess and I wrote it in Nashville last year in May, we kind of like had all these ideas like kind of circling around, and I was kind of like, well, this one needs to because I had let go away, and I'm like, that's kind of contradictory in a way. It's not very grammatically correct.
That's true.
Like, hey, it's rock and roll. So there are no rules. And then so we talked about lyrics, and I was like, it needs to be that point where people are like, enough is enough. I just, let it go, whether it be, a relationship or, a mindset. like a season that you're in, like that you kind of, that's not serving you kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's where it kind of like really eventuated, and how the song kind of came about.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
message
so
comes through. That message definitely comes through in the song. It does a lot. And I like that you said it the way that you did, because I was even going to say that depending on who is listening to it, you can interpret it in different ways. It's just the message is there, you know, like you said, enough is enough, time to cut it off, or grow out, get out of it, or whatever it is, snap out of it, maybe, you know. But you know, but it's good that you put it that way, because I was going to say, like, depending on who's listening to it, it could mean all of those. It could mean a relationship. It could mean, like you said, a state of mind. It could be, you know, a certain kind of situation that you're in. And you've just had enough of whatever it is. And so that message definitely comes across. But again, like you said, it depends on who's listening, because everyone's in different stages of their life. They could be going through whatever. And I like music that has a bit of a message that is relatable in a broader sense. You know what I mean? So
definitely.
that came
And I
through
feel
well.
like that, thank you so much. Like, I feel like it's kind of how I try and write, kind of like have certain things that can be relatable and kind of related to different situations.
Yeah.
So, you know, my focus is always like, you know, TV and film, like where is this song, you know, if this song was like in a scene in a movie, like, you know, how could that drive the picture, you know, and just be part of that to tell the story.
Yeah, multiple ways, multiple kinds of it fits for all different kinds of scenes. And it rocks out too. I love the riff. I love the guitar tone. You have a great attitude on the vocals. Like, it's perfect attitude, you know, like you're just kind of like all there. And I like that it does hit in kind of an alternative rock style. It's very edgy, you know, but it does still have the catchy. It's still pop coded, you know, and like it's definitely your style. And it's definitely catchy. And then for Carried Away, what was it? So wait, so
that's my pop rock. That's my happy place. Like, really, to be honest, I feel like I'm a rock girl through and through. So even though I write across genres, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you do. You write all. Yeah, you do all kinds, dude. You were always but that's your happy place.
Happy place.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So the way that you put it, this is just an idea, a thought that I had as you were talking. Because you guys originally tracked the guitars and they were cleaner, you know, at first, before he came up with the rocked out style. Are those the guitar tracks that you're going to use to do the softer version of the track?
Yeah, so it will be me doing I already tracked the guitars, all the guitars. So for the chill rock version. And I've played it like for multiple people, even like guys out at Paramount, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is great!" So like,
that's
like,
awesome.
Very, very grateful. Like when it comes from those sources. That
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've done some of those before. I've done some of those meetings before. So let's talk about the Grammy submissions. Like, what all of a sudden, you know, and how, and also because a lot of other people a lot of artists rather watch these interviews I have found over the past couple of years. And I think people, like I mentioned, I think in our last interview, I think people learn from each one. So you know, one thing that I would want to know as a musician too, you know, like how do you go about submitting for the Grammy? Can anyone submit for the Grammys? How do you go about doing that? What made you be like, you know what, what happened? You know?
I know, like that kind of actually. I mean, I used to like joke in high school. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, when I win my Grammy, I'll be like, yeah, send the Grammy. I'd like to thank, you know, God, like to thank my mom, like." So yeah, I mean, it's always been like, you know, embedded in my subconscious. And then when I came back to LA in 2021, I just like the door opened for all these like music award shows, like the Hollywood Independent Music Awards, which I've been grateful to be nominated in a couple of categories. And then there's the World Entertainment Awards, which I also was nominated and ended up winning. For, you know, Grab the Wheel and Best Americana, which is so grateful. So thank you. And so basically, like, just because I was like in the rooms, and I was like, you know, you'd go to the after party, and then there'd be, you know, Grammy people there, and then you'd be like, hi, I'm, you know, Katy Tunbridge, and, you know, the conversation kind of starts. And then there was one gentleman, Kit Wakely, and his beautiful wife, Melissa. They're amazing people. And he actually, I got introduced to him, and he was like, Katy, have you, you know, how many songs do you have out? And I was like, oh, like 20 something or 30, whatever. And he's like, great. And he's like, are you, you know, part of the Recording Academy? And I was like, no. Like, and he's like, do you want to be? And I was like, yes. I'm like, heck yes, the Pope Catholic. Like, and then so that kind of conversation started. That was like back in like 2022. Right. And then so 23, 24. And then at the beginning of the year, it was actually Grammy weekend, and I got invited to the after party of the Grammys. And that was amazing. And then so basically it was like, okay, well, Katy, let's get you into the Recording Academy. So I had the credentials. So you do have to have like a certain amount of credentials, and yeah, just, and then you can get not nominated in, what do you call it? It's not
like voted in, kind of like voted in, not voted in, but invited in, right?
Invited in, there
right.
we go. So yeah. I got invited in. You need like two people to kind of like, you know, have you back. So that kind of happened, and presented all my stuff, like, this is my music. You know,
did they pick the songs with you, or did you pick the songs that you'd wanted to actually submit? Like, who are the people a part of like the song selection?
So no, that was me. So
okay.
So basically, so you apply, you kind of like, you know, register to get into the Recording Academy, and then they announce like whether you're in or not, and then you give like, you have like a Recording Academy invitation to, you know, to accept, and then you're in, and then I'm in as a Grammy voting member. If you're a member of, they have Grammy U. If you're a member of Grammy U, I believe that you can now submit for a Grammy. And again, you have to have like a certain amount of credentials. Yeah. But yeah, so I got that, you know, acceptance into the Recording Academy.
Yeah.
And
so it's networking. I mean, it started from being around.
Yeah. I mean, you can still kind of like go to the, you know, Recording Academy website and kind of suss everything out. But you do need to be invited in from a fellow Grammy voting member.
Right. So, and this is another thing that is important for people to know. You know, it's like, you know, when you're an artist like yourself, and then we talked about this last time too, I think, because one of your songs was about going to a party in Beverly Hills. Remember?
Yeah.
And well, do you? Of course you remember. But
Wait.
Yeah, do you remember the song you wrote or no?
I don't know.
But I remember the story you told about that, and how that was all actually something that happened. But you know, that also goes to show you, like, it's like, you know, you have to network and put yourself out there a bit. And, you know, what's the worst that's going to happen? Nothing, you know. But you can also meet someone, and, you know, you got into that conversation. Are you part of the Recording Academy? No.
Do you?
You want to? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. And now look at you. So now so how many songs are you submitting for a Grammy nomination?
5. Submitting for five Grammys. Yeah.
Okay.
And it needs to be. You do need to have, like, it needs to be songs that are released within the certain dates. So from, I think it was like August last year through to August this year.
Oh, so that cuts out everything from your album from.
Actually, no. So I'm actually submitting 3 songs off the album, just because I released it. I released my album October 11 last year.
Oh,
so it still falls into.
Wow, wow, things feel so much farther away for some reason.
I know,
right? It's
right?
weird.
Yeah.
I was like, that was like a year and a half ago when we talked, right? So
yeah, because
wow.
Lying Through Your Teeth. Yeah, Lying Through Your Teeth. You know, I released in October 23.
Right.
And then as the year in 2024 went on, I was releasing a song every 6 weeks.
And until the album was finally.
And then the album came out in October.
So you dropped the whole album, and that counts as just all. So you can actually submit So which other ones from that record are you submitting?
So I'm submitting Skin Deep.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, Skin Deep. And that one was, I mean, that one, you know, people were likening my vocal to like Bonnie Raitt and, you know,
I
Bruce
can see that.
Watson.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
can see
And
that.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, like Bruce Watson, you know, was like loved my vocal on that track, and I was just like, you know, pinch me moment, like,
Yeah.
well, thank
Thank
you.
you. Yeah. Totally.
So yeah, Skin Deep, and that one is submitted for American Roots Performance.
Okay.
And then
Yep.
I have Slow Motion, which is, what have I submitted that one for? American Roots Song.
Okay. I was going to
And
say
then
Americana, but yeah.
yeah, and then Get Back Up Again. Get Back Up Again for Americana Performance.
Right. Oh, so you're not doing Let Go Away?
I am. So Let Go Away, I've
Okay.
got in rock song, and then Carried Away, I've got in pop solo.
Oh, you are doing Carried Away too? Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that's Carried Away for a contemporary pop kind of song.
Yeah.
You know, all those are good. I hope Let Go Away takes the cake though, because
Thank you.
it's just put together so, you know, it's put together so well. All the, and you know what it is like you're able to even on the last record, you know, I'm just a, you know, I'm a fan of, I love your Americana stuff, you know what I mean? I love all that stuff too, you know, and the more folk oriented roots kind of stuff. All that stuff is great, but I love your pop rock singles because they're just like you're able to with any kind of track that you do. I think that one of your best attributes is that you can capture the right kind of energy, you know what I mean? And with the pop rock songs, like you really capture the energy, and it's a balance, dude. Like you're like Let Go Away it's a pretty hard hitting track, and you know you're balancing it. You're not going like you're not being like crazy, you know, but and it's all about melody and hooks, you know what I mean? And making sure the chorus comes in a certain like excuse me, like you write songs, like you said, you're like you even just mentioned I write songs thinking about like film and TV and stuff like that. But you also, when you write songs, I have noticed a thing where, you know, I feel like you're also paying attention to how long it takes for the chorus to come in, you know, how long it takes for vocals to come in from the start of the track. And if you follow that pattern, you go, okay, well, she's writing songs that are, you know, also very kind of radio friendly at the same time, because people that aren't in the business don't, you know, people that are in the business rather understand that, you know, you don't want to wait too long for a chorus. You know, your first chorus can't come in a minute and 35 seconds. You know, your chorus has got to come in and within the first minute or you're done. Or you start a song with a hook. You know, that's even smarter too. You have the hook in the beginning, just to leave even a little hint of it, and you come back to it in the chorus. That gives you a little extra time. You never waste too much, not waste, but you never spend too much time before lyrics come in. So I've noticed that too, especially with Let Go Away too. It follows the same pattern. So I think that when you write songs, you keep that in mind too, where it's like, okay, well, you know, you're thinking about, when you write songs, I feel like you're in the moment lyrically. Like you said, you wrote in May of last year. That's where you were lyrically then. So that's when you wrote the song, right? That makes perfect sense. But when you're working with your producer, Nick, and you guys are working together, I feel like you're also putting your heads together, and I think you're also thinking about the future. What is this song? Where is this song going to go? Type of thing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
And I like that. You know, I think that Let Go has got a huge potential for all that stuff. And so, all right, so you got songs submitted for the Grammys. So cool. And then, so how long do you have to wait for that? Like, what happens now that after you submit? You just wait.
Yeah, so it's like twiddling your thumbs. It's like,
yeah.
Okay, like we'll see.
Like, do you get notified if anything gets in for, you know, like what happens?
Yeah, so the process is you know, I'm working on my FYCs at the moment, so for your consideration. So I'm building out because I'm a nerd and I build out websites as well. And so I'm like, why not, you know?
I do too.
Yeah. And then so you send out your FYCs, and then the beginning of October, it becomes like that's where the Academy kind of goes through everything, and they see what's submitted, and then they categorize everything. So if there's the categories, like they'll say, okay, these are the ones, these are in this particular category.
Right.
Vote. So you log into your Recording Academy portal, and then you can cast your votes for each best album, best rock song,
pop
best
rock
whatever,
single, best Americana
all
Roots,
of
right?
that. Yeah. So that's where you kind of go into that, and then I think they announce the nominations in November.
Oh,
and then
not long.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, no, like so
That's pretty quick,
Yeah.
actually. And is there a limit to the amount of songs that you can that are able to be submitted for that, or is it like let's say like if I'm a voting member, am I going to open up the Americana Roots section for best single and have like 300 songs to go through, or is that
actually? I don't know. Like this is my first year,
not
so
yet.
This is like
yeah.
I'm class of like 2025. So
right.
the recording.
You'll know in October.
I'll know in October.
Right. Wow.
So yeah, so everything will come through.
Imagine that.
Cast your votes. Yeah.
Wow.
And then the nominations get announced in November. And then the Grammys are February.
I got a guy. I'm going to tell him. I got a dude that I'm working with. He's amazing. I'll send you. He did a cover of "Going to California" from Led Zeppelin. It's like an Americana, super cinematic cover, and he's also Recording Academy member and up for Grammys for that. And I just made some like PDFs for him to like send out. I'm going to tell you guys both to vote for each other because you can't vote for yourself, right?
I think so.
I think he would really like the track. I think he would like yours too.
Yeah. Cool.
But I'll send you his info just as like you don't really have to vote for him, but it's cool to know you'll know someone that So are you playing live right now? Live shows? You have one coming up, right?
Yeah, unfortunately I had to cancel. So I've had some health issues over the last like month. So I was taken to the ER twice and then had surgery like two weeks ago, and then unfortunately heard some unfortunate news. So I'm kind of facing some challenges there, and then I do have another surgery coming up in October, early October.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, thank you. So I've had to cancel the shows, but at the same time, it's kind of like I really feel like even this month there's like the Emmys like after parties, and then there's Grammy Advocacy Day, which is like true, like kind of close to my heart with like advocating for songwriters and producers and
of course
everyone, like making sure they're all getting paid correctly and just like the rights of the artist and stuff like that. So yeah, unfortunately like the shows have been like taken a back burner for the moment, but I think it's just, and it's kind of like this time, I mean, like it's really kind of made my lyrics and my songs, like that little bit heavier and just more, I don't know, real. It's just like when you face health situations, it's like, okay.
You're an artist, dude. You're gonna work with that. That's gonna be something that's going to. Well, I'm sorry to hear that you're having health issues, of course. But as an artist, it is something to to work off of, and you're gonna definitely be writing some real lyrics from that and some real song. I mean, I think that being able to take, I think that's part of any kind of art, in my personal opinion, any kind of art form, with painting or filmmaking or music, pulling from I forget what movie it is. There's a line in a movie, but it's talking about like, there's not many songs you hear about, happy-go-lucky. Most songs, aside from love songs, most songs are about struggle and pain and heartbreak and agony and sadness and whatever. But that's where art comes from. It's from self-expression. So you're going to end up utilizing, what's happening to you. And I hope you end up perfectly fine, obviously. I hope your surgery goes great. But I'm sure it will. I'm positive it will. But you're gonna end up coming out of it with like a whole album worth of shit, like guaranteed.
Exactly.
Like that's your style, dude. You're gonna come out with a whole album worth of music, and I'm glad.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's kind of like, I don't want to make it about the struggle, I want to make it about the strength
Triumph.
that
Yeah.
comes from it. And that's always kind of been my default, and, kind of how I was raised as a kid even, and like, music to me is like my medicine, and it's what's kept me grounded.
Yeah. Damn right. God, I like that. That's like one of the best quotes I've heard. Music is my medicine. I mean, seriously, music is my medicine is a really good quote. You should put that in a song.
Right.
Like straight up. I want a little royalty from that.
Okay.
So you're with PRS then, right? And all that stuff?
PRS?
Isn't it Australian or are you with BMI or ASCAP?
I'm BMI.
Oh, you're BMI. Okay. I get confused sometimes because I know that you're from there, but you're a citizen so you're in LA right now. And last time I forgot too, because I was like, I forgot last time I spoke to you, you were visiting family.
Yes.
Back.
Yeah.
That's
so
what it was.
For Christmas and everything. Yeah, I try and go back for Christmas, every year with the family and stuff like that. But yeah, so
and that's where your friend is. So last time we spoke, oh no, that was a while ago. But no, you said last May. So last time we spoke, was that when you wrote the song with your friend when you were still visiting for family for Christmas?
No, so I wrote that in Nashville.
May.
Yeah, May. I was in Nashville for like
Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good.
You did say that. You did say that.
Yeah, no, all good. Yeah, there's like so many locations. I mean, even Carried Away, like I wrote it with a composer in New York. So we met here last in LA, September, at a production music conference. And then we've written a few tracks, even like cues for like TV and film.
Wow.
So this was our first vocal track that we released together. So he sent me the track and I was like, ooh, this is like cool. It's very kind of like Sade kind of like Sade kind of votes, like, vibes. And then so I'm like, it's definitely a love song. So I just kind of like took it there. And unintentionally, like you don't go into a track going, I'm going to lay down 51 vocal tracks, which was 51 vocal tracks on Carried Away, just with all the layers and the harmonies.
Right.
Everything like that.
Did you guys go in and so this was a different person. This isn't Nick. This is a different guy you met.
Yep. So we produced that one together. So I
you meet all these people and you go and make music with them.
Yeah. So I wrote the top line for that one and then recorded it here. Actually, this is my vocal booth right here.
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah,
I don't have the lights on.
So are you like in your room right now, or is this like do you have like a home?
This is my little studio. I've got my keys here, and you can see that, and then my guitar. I've got other guitars in the other room.
Yeah,
I've got four guitars out there.
Do you do scratch tracks in there?
Yeah, definitely. And then like even just like full tracks. So I've like produced tracks out of this. Actually, do you know what?
What?
So I did a song. I wrote a song called Baby Love. It's an instrumental track. And this was like back in 2022 when I was like living in an RV.
Yeah.
Because when I first moved back to LA, I was living in an RV.
Yeah.
And that's actually where a lot of the songs from the album came about. Lying Through Your Teeth, I wrote in the RV.
Wow.
In 2021 in LA. And just over the span of 22, 23, those songs kind of came out. But so I tracked that. I did the whole track, produced it, mixed, mastered it in the in the RV.
But are you using the same stuff that you were using in the RV? Like, you have like a MacBook, or what are you using?
MacBook. I've got like Focusrite interface.
The little red one.
Yeah. I've got like the double one, and then I kind of did 3 guitar parts, and then I got Willie Brown Jr., Alicia Keys' guitarist. He laid down the reggae parts, and then Pee Wee Hill played bass on that one. Just like killed it. But so
cool.
I just find wherever I go, I just like just meet amazing people and just like composers and musicians. It's like, hey, well, let's collab on something. Let's see if this works.
It's a thing though. Like like you have like a it's like you're part of your process. Like it's been so long now that it's part of your process, and I think that it's great because more people should do that. people meet all kinds of different people when they put themselves out there like that, and if it wasn't for that, you wouldn't have half the songs that you have, you know what I mean? Maybe not half, but you wouldn't have some of the songs that you have, you know what I mean? And I think that's brilliant. I think more people should get to put themselves out there like that and meet more people and collaborate with more people. And you know what I mean? Like you meet this guy at a conference in New York, and then you end up working, it's like all these people you're meeting, you end up, a lot of them it becomes something, and you're able to work with them, or combine forces in some way, shape, or form, get a leg up, like it's all that. And that's what you have to do as an artist out there. It's like you can't just write music and just submit it to different places. Like you have to be out there, and you have to be building some relationships if you really want to meet the people that have that have a little bit of pull, or just someone that's like, wow, this guy's really good at what he does. I want to see, maybe he wants to write a song with me someday. I'll give him some of my stuff and see if he digs it. And if he does, maybe he'll, reach out and we'll make a song. And that's part of your process. I think you should keep doing that as much as you can. So the Nashville, so the show in October is canceled. Are you still not going to be speaking? Because originally you mentioned you were going to be speaking at a conference. Is that also, you're not doing that either?
No, yeah. So I was going to be speaking at a creative arts conference,
right?
And again, just like touching on like artists or musicians getting their music in TV, film, and commercials, and making sure you've got everything like lined up and in order to kind of have that ready to be pitched, and to kind of have the ball in motion, so to speak.
Yeah, I know all about that stuff too, man. Yeah, you got to have your instrumentals ready. You got to have your moods. You got to have the tempos. You got to have
you got all that metadata.
You got to have the metadata. You got to have the BPMs. In terms
ISRCs.
of ISRCs. Yeah, everything tagged. Yeah, everything's got to be fully tagged. But also, like with film and TV, a lot of times people are, you have to have your lyrics there too. You have to have somewhere where you showcase every aspect, because people in film and TV, if it's lyrical, they'll look just right at the lyrics first. They'll pick a category and they'll look. I mean, I used to, when I was in LA, I used to write for film and television. I used to write sound-alike songs for the songs they couldn't afford to have.
That's
right.
Awesome.
And I had like this one this one guy that I met that was able to, get me in the door. And this guy ended up being a music supervisor on a bunch of films. And he's like, oh, we really want this, Radiohead song, but it's like, $50,000 and we can't do that. So can you write a song that's kind of like this? And, musicologists come in, oh, that's too close. You got to change that, crazy shit. Yeah. So I know that they look for film and TV. They look for lyrics specifically. They look for the mood. You have to put the mood. You have to put the BPMs in there for the smart ones that are really paying attention and know what's going to fit. Crazy stuff. So you're not going to be talking at the conference, but are these conferences are you invited to as well, or how'd you get in to be like a speaker?
So originally it was back in 2023 when I was asked to perform. So I literally just answered this thing. I think it was on Reverb Nation or something, which I wasn't on for a while. And then so I kind of saw this thing and I was like, this is okay, Nashville. I'll just put out my stuff. And then they contacted me and they're like, hey, we'd love to have you perform. So I ended up performing in downtown Nashville on Broadway? So that was amazing. And then that was actually part of a conference as well. So I kind of came in as the artist performing, and then, again, made the contacts and spoke to the administrators and the founders and stuff like that. Ooh. And then hey, Katy, and then I actually spoke last year as well. And then and then that's when I stayed with my friend Jess, and we wrote Let Go Away. Right. So that was kind of around that same time. So I was performing, and I was also a guest speaker at the conference as well. And then they invited me back this year. Yeah. And anyway, so all good. But I feel there's even though life kind of redirects you, just gonna roll with it, and then
Yeah.
just kind of like, I can focus on writing. So I actually have like 14 tracks that I'm like, need to finish. So I'm
14 tracks.
14, yeah.
Oh my.
And then I've got 2 albums, soul albums that I'm writing, recording, and producing myself. So
Do you
there's
do you, do you,
a lot
where,
of
do you
music.
do you also eat food? Do you have time to eat food as well as doing all
Just
that?
coffee,
Just
I live
coffee?
off coffee and water. It's all.
My God. Two.
I forget to eat. Like, I'm really bad. I'm like, I need a personal chef or something. I'm just like, because I'm here in my little
Yeah.
girl cave, and I'm like here, and I'm like music, and I'm like,
Dude, what a cool thing, man. I mean, it's just cool because it just goes to show you how, just how deep in it you are, like you're just doing like living your best, like you're just following what you love to do. I like that so much because it's like, it's so easy to let things get in the way of that, but you've made your whole adult life basically, and and that's why I asked really about the conference, not because you can't make it, but just because it's like, well, how do you get into that too? Well, I performed and I went and talked to the administrators. And
Yeah,
people gotta,
I just showed up,
that's
it's
what you
like,
got.
it's
That's my point. You just got to show up, dude, and it's a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't show up. That's I think that's like 50% of why I've gotten so far is that you show up. And that's the other half. Here's the thing. Obviously you're amazing at writing songs, but it's also like, that's like the fun part. You know what I mean? That's your love. It's not like, oh, my passion is going to the administrators of this conference, and oh, my passion is going to this party. And no, it's not. But you have to do it. So you have to put in the work on the other 50% to be able to get as far as you are. And now it's like, well, I just find it. I love when talking to artists like you, because it's like you always get that kind of thing. Well, I'm working on. What are you working on? A new song? Well, I've got 2 solo albums. Not one.
And then 14 tracks.
And then 14, yeah, and then 14 other tracks. So that's like 30 plus songs that no biggie though. No, it's fine. I'm just writing, producing, mixing. It's fine. I'm gonna eat breakfast in 7 days. I'll be fine. So, it's like crazy, but I like how deep in it you are, that you're just like, yeah. And I think that also someone like yourself, in terms of being an artist and just personality wise, I think you always feel better having something ahead of you, sort of to look something musically to be working on at all times. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's like your air, like you can't breathe without being able to have something to musically be working on at all times. I'm jealous of that. Super cool.
Thank you. I mean, I'm definitely big picture, so I'm always like, okay, well, end goal, or like I'm kind of like, work from the grave back, like in a way. It's kind of like, okay, all maps out like things I want to do in life, and then take the steps to make it happen. But even like half the time, like, to be honest, like I'll show up to these things just like not even seeking anything, or not even like going in like, oh, I'm gonna talk to this person or whatever. I'll just like sit back, and then like I don't know, I'm just like, okay, something will happen. If not, all good. And then,
but you put yourself in the spot, though. You position yourself in the spot. You go there, and that's all you need to do is be, okay, what am I going to do for the next 3 hours? I'm just going to be here at this spot, because if any opportunity or any connections are going to happen, it's going to be right here in this spot. What's the big deal? I got to spend a few hours over here. Cool. Like you said, if nothing happens, nothing happens. But look at all you've done just from being in the right spots, from putting yourself purposely in the right spots.
Yeah.
You gotta be, that's something to be proud of, man. Like you definitely like give yourself a little props for like putting that kind of, that's the kind of effort that a lot of bands and artists don't put in. That's part of your thing. So I think other artists can learn from that. Like, put yourself in the right spot. Don't be afraid. Don't worry, you're not wasting time. And even if you think you are, just go anyway. If nothing happens, who cares? Like, you're gonna miss anything that you don't try for. So just go there. You don't, like you said, you don't have to go there, but I'm gonna talk to that guy. That guy is ahead of EMI. I'm gonna go over there. It's like, no, you just go there, and whatever happens. And I think that's a big part of your scope of being an artist. Like you're like 100% that, you know, like you're not like, oh, I'm going to write music 24/7 and that's it. You're like that. And then the other half is like, okay, well, I'm going to also show up at these places. And that's how you do it. That's how you succeed. So it's just very cool. Yeah, no, it's very cool. So, well, good luck with the Grammys, first of all. Feel free to hit me up and let me know how that's going and what it's like. I really want to know what it's like in terms of, are you going to open up a section and have 500 songs to go? Like there's got to be some kind of limitation. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And I'll send you this other guy's name is Chris Sloan. I'll send you his. Amazing. You'll love him. I'm talking like amazing, just like you, but he doesn't do rock. He's all like Americana roots, folk, Southern, real Southern. But I feel like you will but he's like on your level of like production, you know, like you're gonna love his shit. It's so good, his stuff. Sorry,
I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm gonna send you a link to his stuff, and he's also I just put a whole thing together for him to send out, because he's also, his single it's a cover of Led Zeppelin, but he's sending it out for the Grammys and stuff too.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's
it's very cool.
Yeah, because I even like on my socials, like I'm planning to like, you know, obviously like the things with my health and everything going forward with, you know, the Grammys and everything, I'm gonna, you know, kind of like, you know, inbuild that, you know, into my story, because, you know, as much as I want to kind of hide from things, I feel like you know, like just kind of, you know, telling a story in the hard times can be a help or an encouragement to someone else, you know. It's
powerful stuff. Like it is, you know, a lot of us have gone through it. So, but anyway, thank you so much for doing this again. This has been awesome. Absolutely perfect. I love Let Go Away. I can't, you know, I'm going to fuse that into this interview, and, you know, so I really appreciate your time. Good luck with the Grammys. For everyone that's watching Let Go Away, it's out right now. So is Carried Away. That's also out too. And you guys should all check that out.